a crispy, crunchy pizza as much as I do? If you do, watch, because this is the crunch of all crunch of pizza. And I'm not talking just at the crust, I'm talking all the way through, even in the middle. So I've started with a 1/4 cup of olive oil in this 20 by 15 rim to rim inch baking sheet. And I've spread the olive oil all over, even up the little sides here. And I know that seems like a lot of oil, but it won't be greasy at all, trust me. So I'm opening up, I took out this bag of store-bought pizza dough. And there's 2 balls in there, 280 grams each, so a total of 560. And I took it out of the freezer this morning. I mean, if you got up late, you can get away with about 4 or 5 hours just sitting on the counter, but the longer the better, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to cut this open, and those doesn't look like 2 balls anymore, and I left it in the bag on purpose so that it will meld together. It'll be easier to spread. So, and I would suggest using olive oil, but that has a lot of flavor, and it doesn't burn, so your crust won't burn, well, unless you left it in there for a long, long time. So, we'll just take this pizza dough and keep turning it upside down, get it fully coated, gets all the oil, and make sure that you can feel that it's fully blended together, and then just start spreading it out. Now, this is going to take a few, process it, like spread it as much as you can, and then you can come back to it later, because it will shrink a bit, and then you can cut it back, you can spread it out again, you know, maybe after about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, come back and spread it out as much as you can again. So I've waited a few minutes, and let's try it again, and it looks like this will do the trick this time. So again, I'm constantly keeping this top of this pizza dough hydrated with the oil. Now if you find some spots getting a little too thin, like right there, see that? Just grab the fatter sides, or thicker sides, towards that bald spot. Left this alone for about 15 minutes, again, just to make sure that, you know, the edges didn't come shriveling in and away from the edges. So it looks pretty good, so let me just turn this fan off while I'm preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, before you put it in, I'm going to add some salt to just a little bit. And I'm going to bake this just as it is right now. Partially bake it, I should say. And then take it out and then add the toppings. This is ready to go into the oven with the salt added to it, and the dough is all nice and salted and oiled, especially oiled. And I also felt that, and you can feel with your hands how thick it is in one spot and it might be thin in another, and just fix it up. But it's got to be sure that this whole thing is the same thickness, and you can feel that thickness. So this is going into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 12 minutes. I would start checking. Oh, this is what it looks like after about 12 minutes. I'm taking it out, and it feels pretty good at the top. Just lift it up a little bit, and it feels solid to you, then you're good to go to the next step. And the next step, and this step is important because I'm going to add the cheese as the first layer of this pizza first. And what that does is when this cheese melts, again, it'll act as a barrier again and prevent any toppings that you add to it, especially tomatoes that are juicy, from sogging up that crust. So I'm going to save the rest. Just spread it out as evenly as you can. Just spread the rest as much as you can evenly. And I'm going to save the rest. So now I'm going to add my toppings. You can add whatever topping you'd like. But here I have onions and peppers and mushrooms and pepperoni sticks and tomato slices. So I'm just going to go ahead and build it. I got the pepper. There's the pepper. My final touch with this oregano, red pepper flakes, salt, and pepper. So there. Now this is ready to go back in the oven again at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I would do this, start testing it at the 15-minute mark again. Taking this out after the 15-minute was up, and I'm going to test it, and that's what we're looking for. You can even hear the crispiness, nice and golden brown, and the crust is not burnt. It's nice and crispy, and it smells so good from the spices I've added. So let me just cut this. Can you hear that crunch? That is one crispy, crunchy pizza, just the way I like it. Doesn't taste like things put on top of a piece of bread. This is a real, I'm having a hard time cutting this because it's still hot. I'm trying to be careful here, but you can hear the crunch. I'm just going to tear off a piece and take a bite. Did you hear that crunch? So good. Bon appetit.